Hi and welcome. Let's see buffered reader now. So what was the issue with file reader? The issue with file reader, the main problem was we cannot read line by line. The data we cannot read line by line. So buffered reader solved that. We can use buffered reader to read the data line by line also combined with whatever we have seen in file reader. Okay. So we have one more functionality in BufferedReader to read the data line by line. This is the main advantage of BufferedReader over file reader. Fine. Rest, it is same. So BufferedReader also cannot directly communicate with the file. Not possible. It cannot directly communicate with the file. It needs a reader object. Fine. It needs a reader object. BufferedReader is the most advanced reader. Okay, this is the best reader that we have. For writer, the best writer is actually print writer, not buffered writer, which we will see. But for the reader, the best reader is buffered reader. Fine. Just remember it cannot directly communicate. So if we see our constructors for our buffered reader, they will be like buffered reader, let's say br equals to new buffered reader, and we pass reader object into it. Fine. Then same, we can use reader object plus we can also give buffer size in the second constructor. Okay, just an extra functionality. What are the methods? The methods that we have are same, the read method, it will return an integer. So we have to convert that into character when printing. Then we have read method again if we want to read a character, means this data, a character array data. Fine. This also we have. Then it is close method that we are having to close the file. Then we have our string. It will return a string read line method. Fine. So this is the extra method that we are having here, the read line method. So what read line method does, when we have multiple lines, it will try to read a single line and return it if it is available. And if it is not available, it will return null. So when we reach end of the file, there is nothing to read in the file, then the read line method will return null. Fine. So return null when we reach end of the file. Fine. Whenever we are closing buffered reader, automatically it will close the reader that we are using, let's say file reader. Okay, same as buffer writer. Okay, so if we are using file reader, so automatically it will close it. Okay, we are not required to explicitly close the file reader. Fine. Rest everything works same. We will see that in the code now. Fine. So this was all about the buffered reader. Fine. So let's see in the code. So here we have a file reader object, that we have already created for the buffered writer example that we have seen in the buffered writer code. Fine. So we will now create a buffer reader br equals to new buffered reader, and we pass the file reader object. Fine. Then string line equals to br.readLine. So this will read me the first line, and if I write it again, so it will read the second line, and so on. So while line is not equal to null, what we will do is we will simply print the line. Fine. And then we will give the line to the next line. So br. We will read the next line and we will store that in the line variable. What this will now do is whenever we reach end of the file, it will return me null. Null will be stored in this variable and it will be matched here. Fine. So when we read the end of the file, we will break the loop. Okay. Now once we simply run it, Now we'll see whatever we written there, that is x, a, we are learning file handling, and x, y, z. So that will be now printed in our console. We are printing in the console, correct, using system.out. So that is written. You can also print into some other file. You can just create one more buffer writer object and you can print in some other file also. So this was about buffered reader. Thank you.